So, welcome to another live today, the 30th of January. So, we have closed the first month in 2022. I'm so excited about today. Excited because if you guys know, the topic is looking at the progress for this month and as promised last week, I would have been streaming to other platforms. So I'm on Facebook. So welcome to those on Facebook, on the Shernette Higgins Clark page, those on the Financial Advisor page, welcome. And those of you on YouTube, welcome. So I have exhausted myself, and that is one goal that I needed to achieve in 2022, which has been accomplished. Where are you in terms of achieving your goals? So if it's one thing, it may be simple, but in terms of killing procrastination, we have to make sure that we are doing the things that we have written down, whether it is on our vision board, whether it is on um, book and paper, or whether it is on a wall on your refrigerator, wherever you have documented that, make sure that you're seeing it every single day and that you're reminding yourself that that needs to be accomplished. So I feel accomplished this Sunday because I'm streaming on all three of my social media platforms, except for LinkedIn. That is there. I would have to give one or the other, but I'm okay with these three for now because I'm able to upload the videos in the future on LinkedIn. So welcome, Facebook, Shernette Higgins Clark page, Facebook Financial Advisor page, those on YouTube, and those on Instagram. Welcome. I'm going to be cutting off Instagram in a while because you're not able to see the spreadsheet. Thank you for joining, Martin. Yes, down with procrastination. And thank you for joining, Mr. Silborn out of the UK. Thank you. So basically, I had lost viewers from Facebook because they sometimes don't remember that I'm on YouTube. And some persons are not versed on setting reminders. So I decided that I needed to fix back to get back those viewership and also to get the information out there. So I'm pretty excited. I'll get to the level where I need to be step by step, not going to, make yourself somewhat frustrating. Progress is progress. Remember, even with the budgeting suggestions that I have made, one step closer to achieving that goal is it really does matter and you need to document it. Thank you, sir. I'm following you. So basically, I will be sharing a presentation today in terms of budgeting. Let me get to that. Um, yeah, no. So basically, I haven't done this in a while, the sharing of the screen. So took a bit of me just doing some basic, what you'd say now, rerun. And then, guys, my computer has been acting up pretty badly. So I don't know what will happen today, but I hope. Hi, welcome to Instagram viewer. Thank you, my Jaden, always supporting me. So I hope you're seeing the screen that I am sharing. I am, and basically, I hope I'm able to navigate without cutting myself off. So basically, it is about budgeting and investment, creating generational wealth. And I have done this before, but each year we have to go back to the same process in terms of budgeting because some persons may not accomplish it, some persons may not have watched it, some persons prefer to see the live than to go watch a video. So we always have to be doing some of the things that we have done before. Some of you may have seen it before, but we can't get tired of budgeting because either it is that we have an increase, or is it that we have a surplus, or is it that we have a deficit? We can't stop. Hi, join it on Instagram too. That we can't stop budgeting and planning and restructuring and refocusing, realigning in terms of the changes, whether it is in cost, inflation, or GDP. So we have to constantly be budgeting. Those of you on Instagram, you're able to see the page on the Iconic Advisor page, Facebook, Shernette Higgins Clark, or the Financial Advisor page on Facebook. So basically, the reason for budgeting is basically to prevent you from overspending. It also shows you where your money is coming from, where there are all sources of income. So whether it is there's a 9 to 5, or you have an extra where you sell clothing, or it is that you're doing trading, whatever it is you're doing, all sources of income need to be factored into your budget. How are you keeping? So it is that you know, preventing overspending, that you'll create that spreadsheet with the income and the expenditure. You're able again to see your deficit and your surplus. How much are you investing? Basically, how much is it that out of that income? Because especially for the month of December, I know persons who have received bonus decide that they needed this, or this needed fixing, or this needed changing, and some things don't need changing is because we have the money. And we have to admit to ourselves, when we have more, we tend to spend and continue spending. But guys, I want to encourage you, based on what we have gone through since 2020 with the pandemic, and even before that, some of us would have learned some lessons. And the pandemic was just a reminder that we need to be investing. You need to have your money working for you. So your hard earned dollar that you're earning sitting in the bank is not giving you any extra money. You're and recently with these bank charges in terms of increase, now that is going to be a reality for some. You need to be investing that money somewhere, whether it's in stocks, mutual funds, equity fund, real estate, money market. You will have to decide in terms of your risk appetite, your risk tolerance. What is it that I'm going to be taking on so this money can be working for me, so I am earning more? How much are you spending? That is also what budget will reveal. And you need to create that spreadsheet, that system of tracking. I talk about it all the time. A few persons, congratulations, have asked for the spreadsheet that was created by a colleague of mine, which has everything listed in terms of your income, and you can list your expenses, and also you can decide where it is that you can do adjustments where you're seeing deficit or surplus. So you can either increase something or decrease something. And sometimes when we're not tracking, guys, to be honest, we tend to overspend in one area when we could have just spent the basics, or something else is not affected. And if we're honest with ourselves, we know that happens all the time. Now, I have a video on YouTube speaking about the 50-30 20 rule. I'm trying to remember if it was uploaded, but I think I have done a presentation on this before. So I just give a brief synopsis of it today. So basically, in the section here, which is the lighter green, if you're seeing it, that consists of our needs when it comes to our income, and the darker green, it's our wants, and the 20% is savings or your debt. Now, when you break down what are your wants, your 50%, you know that we're talking about the recurring expenses, your groceries, your rent slash or mortgage, insurance, utilities, and your retirement, of course. Things that will greatly inconvenience you if you don't have it. So these are our wants. And you may have other stuff that you add to the list, of course, that would be a etc. Now, the 30%, of course, are the needs. Now, these are what we call, the ones, so your 50 are your needs, and the 50% are your needs, and the 30% are your wants. Please forgive me for that one. So these are, or 30%, again, these are minor inconveniences, brand name clothing, movies, dining out, hobbies. So you don't necessarily need this, but it may improve your quality of life in terms of socialization, but it is not a necessity. Some things, yes, in terms of your mental state may help. In terms of if you're working too hard, you need to do some of this. But again, you need to create that balance where you're not overspending. And we can find ways in terms of if it is a favorite restaurant and you are able to prepare those meals, you can create that setting at home, wherever, in terms of to create that same scene and feeling that you would have if you're there. Or if it is that you like to, go out, picnic, adventure stuff, tour the island, tour where you are. So things that are not going to be so expensive if it is that you need to tie up on some of these things. So, of course, our 20% now, we talk about the savings and paying off debt. And this is where we need to put some focus on also student loan, emergency fund, which I have spoken about this even before the pandemic, that we need to have 6 to 12 months of monthly income into what we call an emergency fund. And if you had 6 months, like I did, you would have realized that the pandemic shattered that to pieces. So basically, we're going to have to start over and up the emergency fund to about 12 months at least. It's not going to happen right away for some of us, but it is something that you're going to be building, whether it is what's shattered or if you still have a few dollars, then you're going to rebuild it and it's going to take time. And in building that, then you're going to have to decide what the needs are, what the wants are, and what is going into your necessity. No, if it is that you're able, like for me with my utilities, what is a part of my needs, then I'm able to unplug something. I'm able to use microwave less, plug it out when not in use, plug out devices when not in use. You unplug my laptop or my tablet when it's fully charged. So you can do some adjusting or control what is it that you're utilizing that is, causing you expenses. Make sure water is not running unnecessarily in your house in terms of pipes dripping. There are many ways that we can do adjustments with some of the needs. In terms of grocery, I have given you tips how to handle that in terms of it is their budget is $50,000 and you go into the supermarket and once you have the credit card, you're going to $60,000. You can make sure that you tell the cashier don't pass $50,000, or make sure you have cash in hand. If you can't manage the cards, make sure you have that cash in hand, that budget, that 50,000, that 20,000, that 10,000, and say, this is what I'm going to spend. And if it is going to go over, I'm going to put back what is on the conveyor belt into the card that I'm not able to manage this time. So there are tricks and trade. In terms of your credit cards, you want to make sure that you're not paying any interest, that you understand the 30-day cycle, that you're not paying the minimum amount, but you're paying off what is outstanding so you don't pay any interest. So there are many ways. Have discussions with these financial institutions that you have business with to see how best you can come to a decision in terms of paying off debt and paying off your higher interest loans first. You want to make sure that the shortest period that you can clear those loans, that you're paying them off. I am stripping and ridding myself of loans, and even car loans. I'm tempted to take out another car now, and wow, the new cars are looking really sophisticated, and I'm tempted to get a car loan. But based on what it has done to me mentally, I really want to stay away from a loan. And if you're able to handle it, that is up to you. That is a personal decision. But if you know that these loans are stressing you out, you're not able to even eat properly, fill your car, a tank of gas properly, you're not managing, you're not able to save, then you need to rid yourself of all of that stress. Now, for me, I am a mom, a working mom, a hardworking mom. And I want to make sure that in terms of my mental state, in terms of how I perform at work, in terms of how I relate to my children, that I have a clear mind. I'm not stressed. I'm not irritated. And loans irritate me a lot. They do. They rub me the wrong way. I don't like people asking me for the money. I don't like people calling me, especially if I'm behind. It just does something to me mentally. So I rid myself, and I am almost completely out of debt. And if I don't have a dollar, once I am financially free or financially independent, that is what I am seeking, to be in that position. And being in that position where paying off these loans, you can be investing, you can be saving. So when it is that you paid off, you have a nice little lump sum can look at in terms of your sinking fund and your emergency fund. Now, we spoke about your net income and expenses. So your net income is after pension would have been taken out. So this is now where, of course, taxes are going to be withdrawn from the net. So the gross comes, of course, from the salary initially before, and then these are the sources of income that we'll be subtracting our expenses for. And I kind of give an idea again of the 20-30 rule here, how to break it down. So your 50% your needs, your recurring bills, 10% for those who are tithers. Deborah, thank you for joining in. And it's castle.empire. Thank you. I'm actually live on YouTube on the Iconic Advisor page, in which I am doing a synopsis of what I'm speaking about, an example. So they're actually seeing a presentation via publisher. And for those of you on Facebook, it's the Shernette Higgins Clark page. And for again, the financial advisor page on Facebook. Thank you for joining in again. So if you want to jump on over there, so Instagram is just to inform my Instagrammers where I'm at, and you can join. Remember, guys, also to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Now you have your insurance here, 10%. Long-term saving, this should have said I'm seeing long-term savings, emergency fund, your investment. Opportunities normally show up sometimes when you're doing consistent savings, and I always encourage that. So if you're not able to, and congratulations, and happy for you guys who bought into the Spur Tree Spices IPO. So you want to make sure and you notice it was open one day and closed the next. So you want to make sure that you're in a position to jump onto those opportunities. It was for $1 something, it's now $2 something. So you want to make sure that you have consistent savings that you can pull on those, so you're able to buy some units in terms of, again, that is making money working for you. Persons who want to study, and persons who want to give to charity, or just, you want to just have some fun, you want to have some relaxation. Once you know the difference between your income and your expenses, you can determine what your disposable income is for investment, etc. And a part of that disposable income, and I'd prefer you have a disposable income which is a surplus than a deficit, then you're able to say, I am able to contribute more to whether it is my investment or my insurance, because sometimes you may have started that insurance as someone who is single, but then now you're married or there are children. You want to look back now because you may have acquired properties, and you want to think about protecting your estate in terms of distribution, when it is that you're not able to do so, that it will be given to the persons that you so desire, than to have it being distributed. So of course, that is where your will or your trust comes under that now, where you want to make sure that that is in place in the event. So you want to make adjustments and sacrifices where necessary. Investments, before you start to consider how to invest, you want to make sure what is your risk tolerance. You want to know what that is. Am I the person who not really want to take any risk, or I'm in between that? Or is it that I want to take high risk? Can you afford to lose what you're investing? Because depending on the investment that you're going in, if it's high risk, you know that you can lose everything. You know that the road can be rocky where it is up today, and if you're going to have a heart attack when you see the market going down, is it that investment for you? Or do you want to consider going into some, sorry about that, got a call, or do you want to consider going into some consistent savings, and then you can do something that is a little bit more in terms of the conservative aspect. Things also to bear in mind when investing is the higher the returns, the greater the risk. And the opposite is also true. This person don't know that I am on live. Sorry about that again. And past performances is no guarantee of future results. Don't assume, what is this? I mean, don't assume that because an investment did well in the past, it will do so in the future. So you want to make sure that you know all of these before you go in investing. And then I have some items here. You want to think about retirement, purchasing property, whether it is land or a home, vacation, and college. Once you have considered those factors, you start now. Today is the day to get started. You start now. No, compound interest is your friend, so you want to make sure I have made comparison to someone who is younger and older. Those who want to achieve the same amount in the same amount of period, the older person would have to be contributing more. And you want to make sure that you're putting in investments. So the money that you have, you would be now earning interest on the new amount and so forth and so on. Diversify diversify your money, investments, etc. Funds. Pick a spread or selection in terms of various funds. So as I said before, whether it is money market, whether it is real estate, whether it is equity, fixed income, foreign exchange, you decide. And then you start with a monthly investment to get a feel of what that would be like. Guys, as usual, when I am alone, it is just about 15 to 20 minutes in terms of presentation, and I have done two. Hey, Alkaline, is it? And Rose Harper, thank you for joining in. I told you guys I had to be back on Facebook because I lost some of my viewers while I was just doing YouTube. Want to thank you guys once again, and just a kind reminder just to be careful on the road. You could be doing everything so correct or right, focusing and obeying all the road codes, and then here comes someone crashing into you. I had an unfortunate experience on Friday evening with my oldest son. We were on the ferry, and of course, the traffic was at a standstill. And I was just sharing with him, like, maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes before that, about my driving, that I'm conscious of not going down close to someone, because I normally do that. And I want to be at least a car space for room for any error. If someone run into my back, I want to make sure that I don't get into the other person's back, or if I need to move, I can move. No, after having that discussion, as soon as we passed the ferry police station, for those of you who know the location, we heard a big bang, and by we heard that sound, we were a part of the shebang. So someone ran into someone back and pushed that person in my car. So we are thankful that we're alive. We had to go to the doctor because our backs were sore. I had a little spasm in my neck. And, we're just grateful for life. And apparently she was on her phone, which is the main culprit. And, we just have to be thankful for life. So just be extra careful. And for those of you on here who are using your cell phones, desist from using that. 1 minute of focusing on something else could take your life or someone else's life. Let us be an advocate for that. And it starts with one. We need to call out it as it is, and we need to call out the people who are doing it. Because, as I said, innocent lives are being taken, and sometimes the persons who are causing the accidents are not the ones dying, is the one who is doing everything right on the road. I want to remind you guys to stay focused and to stay strong and to stay safe. COVID is still around, remember. For those of you who have taken your vaccine, kudos to you. Those who have not, just allow people to be. Let's just respect each other's space. Let's us just respect each other's opinion. And too much is happening, guys. Too much is happening, and every day above ground is certainly a good day. I want to thank you once again, every one of you. Remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel, so whenever it is that I go live, that you are informed, or whenever it is a video is uploaded. I want to thank you for those of you who have been around in 2019. We have new subscribers on YouTube. Want to thank you. Those who joined on the Frank Field New Testament presentation, Love 101 presentation, big up yourselves. My new clients for 2021, Thank you very much. And for those who will be joining in 2022, thank you for employing me and trusting me with the information. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, guys. I so do intend to live, love. Bye.